Hey there guys, it's the Huey Freeman here for part 7 of Mega Man X3 Pacifist Edition. Today our opponent's going to be Catfish, and while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and take a little side trip and take on Vile. So Catfish's level is very difficult to do if you make it the first one, but it's a little more manageable if you have a couple of heart tanks and possibly some sub tanks. But I'm going to take this path downwards, which only opens itself after you defeat 2 Mavericks, and it'll take you to Vile stage. Now I love the music for Vile stage. The stage itself isn't too bad. It's pretty much a basic level that you can skip through. And I could be wrong on this one, if you beat Catfish before you go visit Vile stage, that device on the bottom will be an elevator, which will start working. But I could be wrong on that one. You can access Vile stage through 3 or 4 stages. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, it's kind of a little mini stage, probably about 1/3 of the size of a normal stage. And here we're going to go ahead and take on Vile, who's X's nemesis, who killed Zero in Mega Man X1. There's 2 parts to the Vile fight. The first part, he's in the ride armor, and he's ridiculously easy while he's in the ride armor. He literally has a set pattern of dashing towards you, punching. Dashing towards you, punching. That's it. I mean, if you don't want to be risky, you could go from wall to wall, or since he gives you a good amount of distance before he's going to punch you, you can just take a couple steps back each time. Really not too hard at all. And I misjudged the space there. We're going to try not to use up all of my ammo early, because the actual fight against Vile is a little tougher. Now Vile here has a set pattern, but it actually requires effort to dodge. He jumps in the air, tosses the fire that climbs a wall so that you don't stay on the wall, and then fires, I believe, about 6 blasts at you. There's 6 machine gun shots. If you have the leg armor, a dash jump is perfect for getting over that. Now he does have 2 weaknesses. The first is Crush Crawfish's weapon, and the second is the Ray Splasher. As with Bit and Bite, if you take him out with any weapon other than his weakness, he'll just teleport away and you'll have to fight him later. If you take him out with his weakness, it will actually destroy him, which I'm going to need to destroy him to get the Z Saber in the future. So I'm trying to wear him down because it's not too easy to hit him with this weapon. But I don't know, I kind of like this fight. It requires some skill, but it's not difficult to say the least, but at least you're not sitting there like he did with the ride armor with a very easy short pattern. And there we go. And there's Vile's ominous message. The first time I read that, it actually kind of creeped me out a little bit because I was really young. Now it's a little amusing, especially since I've seen a couple of X's down the road where he shows up. Alright, now that Vile's dead, the rest of his stage becomes a countdown. The base that we're at is going to explode, and essentially X has 50 seconds to get out of there. 50 seconds if you're good at dash jumping is more than enough time. I'm probably going to get out of there with about 10 to 15 seconds. And if you have the elevator, it's that much easier, because you don't have junk flying down on you. These parts can slip you up. They don't drop you into an actual pit, they just delay you. Oh wow, I actually had 19 seconds left. That's even more than I thought I would. Now, the problem with recording a video as I'm going through Vile Stage is it kind of used up a lot of my time. So I'm gonna have to force this stage to be more of a speed run. I'm not, if I can avoid it, I'm not gonna wait for the elevators and whatnot. I'm not the best speed runner in the world, or even close to it, but I'll do what I can. There's also a couple of secrets that I have the opportunity of getting as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to take that opportunity. For instance, I have a heart tank right here, where you gotta watch out so you don't die and start all over. Take a forced hit. And if I'm correct, I believe another armor piece is close by. Yeah, here what we do is we have to use the charged gravity weapon, which I think has a great animation. It just doesn't do anything. It would probably be one of my favorite weapons if it could take out some enemies, but we'll deal. So we'll take the armor upgrade, which is very helpful if you're being a pacifist, because you end up having to take a lot of forced hits. So it's best, anything that can reduce the damage that you're going to take is definitely going to help you out. And it's going to be particularly helpful in the last part of this stage where there are a lot of forced hits. Let's see. Hopefully I don't have to face another mini-boss here. I'll be honest with you people, I'm starting to get worried about whether I'm going to make it within the timeline. I don't want to split this level up into 2 videos. But I'm wondering whether I'm going to make it within 10 minutes. So here I'll take the Rhine armor. Not as much for purpose of, not as much for the purpose of being a meat shield as much as getting a sub-tank. Well, I don't think I'm going to make it within the 10 minutes, but fortunately YouTube was a little more lenient and gave us an 11-minute limit, I think. I've had a video or two that reached 11 minutes, so come on. You can see the reduced damage helps a lot. Alright, here we go. So I can beat Volt Catfish in 2 minutes. Volt Catfish is actually a decent boss without using his weakness. If you're trying to buster run him, he's got some good attacks, ones that mess with you without being cheap, particularly at the second half of the fight, but we're not going to be able to see most of that because I'm not going to play with him as I don't have much time to. So if there is one major flaw of the X series, it's that the weaknesses seem to completely neuter the bosses. It's kind of sad because a lot of them had some good design to them. and you can tell they put in some work for them, but none of that gets realized when all you gotta do is hit them over and over and they run into a set pattern that's easily exploitable. But here we go. We didn't make the 10-minute limit, but we went ahead and at least made it within 11 minutes, so this should be able to post within one video. So this is a pretty productive part 7. Got a lot done. Took out Vile, took out Catfish, and I will see you guys later.